Good kid, bad theories.
Let's get into some topics today. We were talking a little bit before the show started. We were mentioning Drewski.
Do you want to fill the audience in just in case they haven't seen that?
Well, yes. So Drewski, I think it's pretty self-explanatory who Drewski is at this point. A lot of people, and if you don't know him, you've seen his face. You have seen his face. At some point. You've seen his face, whether it be a commercial, whether it be a skit.
Whether it
music
be
video.
His famous TV show on YouTube.
Yeah, he's all over the place. And here's the thing. It's like, Drewski, do you consider him a comedian?
Yeah.
I don't. And and the only reason why I say I don't is because my definition of like comedian is like you have to be on stage telling jokes.
Like material.
Okay.
Like you are a comedic actor.
So do you think he's more of like a content creator then?
He's a content creator. And that's the thing. When I say stuff like that, people are like, "Oh, bro, you sound like a hater."
It's
You're
not
this.
a diss.
Well, see, but I said that online one time and someone was like, "Nigga, you a hater." I'm like, "How am I a hater?" I'm literally just saying my definition of comedian. Chappelle is on stage. Chris Tucker on stage. Kevin Hart on stage. Mike Epps, Cat Williams, Earthquake, the freaking Bernie Mac, everyone that I just met.
Martin.
Yeah, like everyone that I just named, even though they have been on a show.
They've been on stage.
They've been on stage. Even Jim Carrey started on stage. So it's just kind of like, to me, if I've never seen you on stage, I don't consider you a comedian. That's just my opinion. But that aside, he put out a skit where he's talking about how conservative women act.
Correct.
And anyone who knows, he is parodying Erika Kirk. Now, Erika Kirk is the widow of the recently deceased Charlie Kirk. And that whole thing, that whole skit, he's parodying her. And the thing is that everything that he said and did is stuff that she has said and done. And so a lot of people, particularly conservatives in MAGA, they are saying, oh, well, if I put on blackface, it would be considered racist. They're saying that what Drewski did as far as clowning Erika Kirk is quote unquote racist. Now, we talked about this a little bit before the show started. Cityy'Boi Don, you said that it's not racist. Explain to the good people what is not racist about
I will have you go first.
You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we may have different viewpoints on this.
You think so?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, what I would like to do is I would like to open up the Florida metric first because you said that it might be before we started. So I would like to hear your opinion.
I mean, shit. Like,
so the whole thing is they're saying if they put on blackface and they were like, let's say
if they were doing the exact same thing that Drewski was doing.
Let's say that like, let's think of like a just any white conservative person. Let's say Ben Shapiro decided to put on blackface and imitate Will Smith. They would say that, oh, that's considered racist. So you're saying that what Drewski did would be considered racist, quote unquote, possibly.
I could understand to a degree, but I also feel like, I don't know, maybe like with people doing blackface, like I think that they main, I guess, highlight in it is the fact that they are blackface, because a lot of people probably can't even impersonate the person that they're trying to be. They just put on blackface, and that's just all that is. But Drewski was just impersonating this person. He didn't talk about like her nationality or nothing like that, but he couldn't impersonate her if he wasn't. He could have did it without the white face, but it was funny. So I don't know, and I don't really care. I don't care if it was racist. I do not care. Part of me I ain't even gonna say that. I was gonna say I kind of consider myself just a little bit.
I think everyone is like.
Yeah, I think everybody has.
Yeah,
I think everybody has like a particular. I'm trying to use the right terminology, but I think everybody has like a particular like prejudice, but
a set of skills. Yeah. I'm like Liam Neeson when it comes to my racism.
When I find you, I'm gonna be racist.
I'm just saying, man, because like you ever go into a beauty supply store and you see Asian people and you're just like,
Yeah, I know. It's gonna sound bad, but sometimes I'm just like, all right, like how much help do I really need in this beauty salon?
Seriously, man, it's just like, what the heck? Like,
Because there's
how much help
and
do
the
I
only
really
reason why I
need?
say that is because in my experience, that doesn't mean that it's the norm for everybody, but in my experience, when I go to Lee's, when I go to Mid K or whatever, they're rude. They're exceptionally rude to me. When I'm just trying to find something, like, ma'am, can I find the clips? Why you want clips?
Right, do you want me out this motherfucker? or not?
Do you want my business? Do you want my money
see,
or
and
not?
that's what I'm saying though. Like, what okay.
And I'm not
What
trying to
do
say
they
that-
know about black hair?
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm not trying to.
They hair ain't even textured the way ours is. Y'all can't even.
That's what
y'all
I'm saying.
Can't even
So
have
it's just
locks
like-
out there in Japan.
So like you have, I don't know where they're from, but it's just like, but my whole thing is like, okay, you have.
That'd be real fucked up. We get to Japan and they're just like, they look at me and you and they're like, no.
Exactly. Yeah, we heard you talking all that crap, nigga.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
they
saying? Like,
let him come through because they're like brush cut.
that's right, baby. Embrace me. No, they probably would love you guys. They'd be like, oh, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? But
Can
they
I
probably-
touch you hair?
But they,
So-
that,
Right,
see,
right, Jaden
that,
Smith.
that right there, bro.
Right.
They would treat us like we're like Nat Geo. Just like, as you can see, niggas just crossed into foreign territory.
And they taking all our women.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can touch my.
For the narrator's just like, as you can see it, they're taking my bitch.
Yeah, his voice changes. As you can, hey, wait a second. Okay, so Cityy'Boi Don, Drewski.
Yes.
Let's, yeah.
Unpacking it, the reason why I say that it's not racist is because for things to be racist or prejudiced, there has to be a particular like power in play. And systemically with Black people, we have not had power in the United States or really, really ever as far as our history is concerned while we've been in this country. So the difference is putting something, if Erika Kirk or whoever other conservative was talking about them trying to be in blackface, there is history upon that. There's histrionics upon that. There's reasons why that would not work the way that Drewski made it work. And people, I mean, I'm not saying that it wouldn't be comical. It would be comical to the wrong crowd. And then that in itself would be racist, would be racist. And people would look at that as like, oh, well, you know, I'm just going tit for tat. But there's histrionics about being blackface as opposed to what Drewski did. Yeah. And so, you know, with that, posing as blackface, like I said, like they did that as like, you know, they use us as like caricatures, you know, instead of having Black people like actually in plays or movies back in the early 1900s, even the late 1800s, they had white people casted as Black people and they posted them in a level of stereotypes. That's why we have the stereotypes that we have today. And so
Tropic Thunder?
Yes. Yep.
Yes. And so, you know, when you are reviving something that is historically like racist, is going to still have that same connotation as opposed to what Drewski did. And so I don't really believe what Drewski did was racist. Now, it's all about his intent, and I don't think his intent was to be racist. I think it was just a spoof. It was a spoof. It was a parody on her because she did all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
she did all that. And you kind of like said what I was like going for, because a lot of blackface, it is always rooted in stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you have white people, they've casted white people to play Asians before.
Yep.
It is rooted in stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? So every time when they're parodying another person, they are like being, oh, well, man, well, I'm just out here and this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're very, they double down on that.
Mm-hmm.
Drewski is literally saying word for word what Erika Kirk said. Erika Kirk said about we got to protect white men. Erika Kirk came walking out at her freaking husband's funeral with fireworks surrounding her. Like I said, I literally said it on one of the episodes. If I didn't know who this woman was, I would have thought she was a pop star.
Yep.
Looking at those pictures, or she was a country singer. She had a glittered jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the thing is, Drewski's like a really bad example to try to go tit for tat with, because Drewski's made fun of everybody.
But,
Yeah, literally everybody.
But here's the thing, though. There is so much hypocrisy here.
Yep.
If you guys, Trump literally posted a video of Barack and Michelle Obama as monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys thought that was the most hilarious thing ever. But all of a sudden, Drewski, he didn't call Erika Kirk out of her name because here's the thing. President Trump is not an idiot.
Correct.
Trump is not an idiot. Trump is actually quite smart, okay? If he posts a video of the former president and former first lady as apes, he knows what that means. He's not gonna be like, I didn't know that people referred to black folks as monkeys. That's new to me. Come on. Come on. Give me a break. You know what I'm saying? He knows it, and he knows what it enables. That's why when people say, oh, I don't believe Trump is racist. Okay, for argument's sake, let's say he's not racist, but he enables it.
Yep.
You enable it. I can still go to jail if I drive the getaway car. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, so you can't be like, oh, I didn't rob the bank. Yeah, you didn't rob the bank, but you were a part of a system that enabled the crime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that being said, it's just like, you know, if you guys are going to laugh at something that is specifically aiming at tearing down somebody, Drewski is not tearing down Erika Kirk. He's literally parroting her. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he was calling her, you know, outside of her name and stuff like that, then I could see that you may have an argument to stand on. But it's just like, but he's literally just imitating everything that she said. And he's doing it in like crazy looking makeup. And if you guys can laugh at white chicks, then you guys can sit back and just deal with the, you know what I'm saying? And you guys can quote white chicks. There are more white people that are fans of white chicks than niggas, bro.
No, for real.
White people love white chicks.
Well, I think a lot of it also has to do with that. It's like comedy and politics are meshing as if they haven't been part of like one of the same coin forever. I think that's part of the issue.
Art has always been political.
Yep.
And I don't like that we are trying to pretend that this is like a new thing. Art has always been political, from plays to pieces of art, paintings, you know what I'm saying? Like music to literally everything. So it's just like, you know, I mean, hey.
Good kid, bad theories.